Hi, Yushin. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you, Leah? I'm
Good.
pretty
Thank
good.
you so much for joining World Speaks in our series Justice Speaks. So, with the climate of things that have been going on, things with the coronavirus, and what happened to Ahmad, and what happens to Black men and Black women, and just people of color, we wanted to start a dialogue to educate people and invite people of color to share their perspective. So, thank you so
All
much
right.
for joining us.
No problem. That's my
Yeah.
pleasure.
And I just wanted to start with a few questions for you.
Okay.
First one, how do you identify?
I identify about Chinese exchange student in Nebraska.
Nice.
hmm
Well, that's really cool. What are you studying?
Oh, I'm studying. I usually before I was studying finance, but then I changed my major to communication study in English as my second field.
Nice. That is really cool. And so, can you tell me about your UX experience and how you got to the United States?
Well, so I came here in 2015, and because I graduated at that point, I graduated high school, and I was like applied for U.S. college, and they gave me an interview. So I passed the interview, and I came here for study business. But while I figured out that I don't like finance at all, but then so then changed to communication study and English as my second field later on. So I've been here for 5 years already in U.S. study and as an exchange international exchange student. So I'm pretty like Omaha right here,
Nice.
and upset higher education level, and I like here a lot.
Okay. And can you tell me your time in Omaha, or just being in the United States, where you felt misunderstood or not heard due to your Chinese heritage?
So it happens a lot of the time. It's
Hmm.
like I already get used to it. So
Wow.
mostly I feel like a lot of people misunderstanding for those Chinese people. Oh, you guys eat dogs or cats,
Hmm.
stuff like that, and you guys like one child policy. Is that gonna the government gonna take your child away? Stuff like that. It's like I understand why they're asking, or some people who understand it because social media
Right.
sometimes you cannot trust them 100%, and there's always, no matter where what countries they are, like there's always 1 or either 2% of people like being misunderstanding our culture, and like we have to be more. I think it's pretty good that you guys working together, you guys like work for the language and cultural stuff like that. All right, so I feel like it's pretty good organizations that put all the culture together and communicate together and like get know each other well. So like I get a lot of people like say eat dogs or cats. Well, it's actually not true, which is like actually the fact is like the government said that is legal to eat dogs or cat, but like nobody actually eat it, and it's like
Wow.
very long time ago, which is happens to some countries, some other village, but not actually 99% of people they don't eat dogs and cats, stuff like that.
And
So that
I've heard that joke a lot, where people will
yeah,
make that assumption and talk
yeah.
like
So a lot of
they,
people making joke,
yeah,
making fun of us, and making like sometimes I don't feel that comfortable, but like I already
yeah.
get used to it because they don't really understand the culture how that works. So,
Mm.
and also one child policy. I have been to, I think it's 2016 on the what day is it? It's a holiday. I forgot what day is it. I think it's Christmas Day. Then my friends, my American friends, invite me to his house, and which his mom that just being curious, that asking me, oh, are you guys being one child? Do you have any siblings? Anything like
Wow.
I don't mind, like I don't mind if she asking me that questions, but I understand that, right? Because
Yeah.
she's just being curious and everything like that. So I was like, oh yeah, because we have 1.6, 1.5 billion people right there, and it's hard to control. So that government make the policy, but it's been a long time ago. Right now, it's like you can have more, and I have one little brother as well. So
Yeah. So it's just like people kind of differentiating what they heard and what is actual reality for you. There's
Yeah.
so many stereotypes that are being tossed around.
If you ask Chinese people, what about American people? Like, they would say like, oh, American people, like, maybe they're like, you just have Amazon, American people are fast, strong. Like, when I first time went to here, I had to take 1 year, 1 year to study for English program, right? As an Iluno student, and so all my international people came here like, oh, what do you think about here? Oh, it's great, the air is fresh, and stuff like that. And then we thought that Americans either, because of Hollywood movies, stuff like that, and people feel like American fat or either strong, but actually it's not true. Come on, like,
Yeah, we're not one or the other. It's kind of like a
lot of people
spectrum. Like, people are all different.
Yeah, so we have a lot of misunderstanding culture, like misunderstanding each other culture a lot, because we don't have that much information to get in. Until I get here to study, I learn more about culture. Wow, this is awesome. This is cool. It's not what I heard from the news, stuff like that.
And what were you saying again, like, about what people think, like, China is like in the past, like the.
Oh yeah, so a lot of, like, my American friends came to China for visit, so I take care of them, and they were like, they thought China is still like 1960 or 50, but then when they came here, they feel like, oh, there's so much different. It's like, because my friends asked me, do you guys have highway in China, which made me feel like, okay, I don't know, maybe. So yeah, so my friends came to China for visit me, and then I take care of them, and the situation is much more different than they thought. They feel like, oh wow, it is really different, like completely different than they thought. So we have a lot of things like transportations, and we're developed transportations, and a lot of, like, we already used cell phones for payment, for and the face scans already, everything is fast. So yeah.
And who did you say someone went there they went there about their 30 years in the future?
Amazon. I forgot his Amazon or eBay CEO. He went to China for study for 3 months, and he feel like, the news said that he feel like he's living like 30 years in the future.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's like, but we still need to be humble, because to study is like, why I'm saying, because like here we have a lot of different things, like really awesome things in US, which is like higher level education, right? And then the people are like really open, like nice, stuff like that. So
yeah, it's really cool. I've never thought to go to China one day, but I had to have my friend with somebody with me.
I'd take care of you.
Because all I know is ni hao and xie xie in Bucharest, and that's it. And they'd be like, can you say anything else? I'm like, nope.
So I just feel like the world culture need to be more organized, like more communicate with each other to get more each other, know each other well,
Yeah, so it's like people aren't just making so many assumptions. It's like, hey, here are the facts. Here's how it actually is in these countries. So then people can't just say, oh, it's this and that, and it's like, nope, it's more like you and me than you realize. You know what I mean?
Right.
Going on with, the coronavirus, have you personally, like, have people said things to you or try to blame you for the pandemic? Have you had that kind of experience, or has it been kind of chill for you?
Personally, nobody said, and nobody like being mean to me, but maybe I saw the news, some happened to other stage, to other Chinese exchange students. But I feel like, because like other stage, all the people wearing masks, right? I even though make a speech on my final speech saying that we all need to wear masks during this pandemic, because it's really dangerous out. So whenever I go outside, wear a mask, and people will having the judge eyes, like look at me and like, why these guys wearing masks, right? But yeah, I saw a lot of masks that, like, a lot of people said, because the first case is confirmed is in Wuhan, China. But then a lot of people would say, "Oh yeah, because you guys first case confirmed in China, so you guys bring the virus right in here." But actually, a lot of people misunderstand that. So, but I just feel like in this moment, in this tough situation, we all need to stand together. And as Chinese culture, we're more likely to be peaceful, and we need to be stand together to fight for the virus.
Nice. And so what do you want people to know, like, as your final casting or your final saying here? What do you want people to know about, Chinese people, or what, like you already said what they get wrong, but what do you want us to know? Is it something about your culture that you think is really cool fact, or what is something you would like people to know?
Okay, so China is like Chinese people are very like collectivism people, and we are like caring. We are more like to people come to our countries, know more about us. We're more likely to having more friends. One peaceful. That's all Chinese people are. So we don't want any like all, even though we have misunderstood people in China though, but mostly we are more caring, we're more likely to make friends with everybody. So
Cool. Well,
yeah,
thank
so
you
I
so
got
much
it.
for your time.
No
I
problem.
appreciate it.
Yeah, no
We
problem. Thank
appreciate
you.
your perspective on your experience here and being a Chinese exchange student in Nebraska.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you for your
problem. Thank you
time.
so much. One more year I'm graduating.
Congrats. I'm
Thank you
sure
so
you'll kill
much.
it.